So just when you think things can't get any worse, they absolutely do. And the economic bloodbath that we're going to see is going to be absolutely astonishing. As many of you know by now, the big news last week was this. So this was the big news. The Fed slashes interest rates by 0.5 point, an aggressive start to its first easing campaign in 4 years. So basically the government and the Fed have mastered the art of deception by gaslighting all of us with nonsensical rhetoric like this.
This economy is in good shape. It's growing at a solid pace. Inflation is coming down. The labor market is in a strong pace. We want to keep it there.
So why would they aggressively cut interest rates if everything was fine? It's all nonsense, and they know it. And they also know that there are big problems brewing, especially in the labor market. And I'm going to give you guys a shocking prediction coming up as to what I think is going to happen. What's going on, my YouTube friends? This is Jerry Abbott, your #1 real estate resource here in beautiful Las Vegas. Hey guys, a couple of real quick things before we dive into the video. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to learn the cold hard facts about the U.S. economy, the U.S. real estate market, and specifically the Las Vegas real estate market, then make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. Number 2, if you happen to like the content in today's video, make sure to press that thumbs up like button, guys. That would really help the channel out. And number 3, if you are thinking about relocating to beautiful Las Vegas, whether it's next month or next year, I've got your back. I'm a local real estate agent here. I've lived here for nearly 20 years. I know every inch of this city. When that time is right for you, definitely reach out to me. Just call, text, or email me anytime, and I'll help you find that perfect dream home. Let's dive into the video. So after digesting all of that economic data from the last week, there are 2 things that really stand out to me. The first, which very few people are focused on, is what happens after the Fed does an aggressive interest rate cut. Take a look at this short video clip.
Because 11 out of the last 15 times that the Fed has cut interest rates in an economic cycle in the last 70 years, we've had a recession and a skyrocketing unemployment rate right thereafter. Now, interestingly, a lot of people want you to think that Fed rate cuts are going to be good for the economy. A lot of people think that home prices and stock prices are going to go up by more when the Fed cuts interest rates. However, the historical record is very clear that this is unlikely to happen.
So that video right there shows that there's a high probability of economic turmoil, but the second big thing that a lot of people are not focused on is this. So take a look at this recent article that just came out. You can see the headline at the top where it says true rate of unemployment. Now this is very important because a lot of people are not aware of this. When we look at the bottom right in the dark blue, we see the rate of unemployment there is 4.2%, but the functional rate of unemployment, when we see over on the left side, is 24.4%. Now, a lot of people don't know what the functional rate of unemployment is, so I want to read it to you by just scrolling down a little bit here and reading to you this blue highlight. It says the true rate of unemployment tracks the percentage of U.S. labor force that does not have a full-time job, 35 plus hours a week, but wants one, has no job, or does not earn a living wage, conservatively pegged at $25,000 annually before taxes. So what this all means in a nutshell is that the American people are constantly being lied to, because when we get a government report that comes out that tells us the unemployment rate number is 4%, that's not the true number. The real number is closer to 25%. That means millions of more people are not accounted for in the workforce, which means the numbers are much higher. And I just wanted to let you guys know that we really are not sitting at 4%. We are closer to 25%. And that's very disturbing because the unemployment numbers are likely going to go higher in the coming months. Now, drilling down more specifically into the real estate market, lower mortgage rates are absolutely meaningless when millions of people are out of work and home prices still look like this. All right, so I want you to take a look at this very specific home price chart. Now, this chart tracks the median home price since the start of the pandemic in March of 2020 to the current time period through August of 2024. Now, if we look on the bottom left here, right here, you can see that little black box that popped up. In March of 2020, right when the pandemic started, the average home price in the United States was about $280,000. Now, then you can see the big spike up here. It fluctuated a little bit. And then when we get right here to the top right, you can see right now through August of 2024, the median home price in the United States is now standing at about $416,000. So this is pretty disturbing on several fronts. Number one, home prices have appreciated about 50% in the last 4 years or so, which in the history of real estate, that has never happened before. The only time we've gotten close to that was back in 2007, 2008, and we all know what happened after that. There was a big real estate crash. Number two, there are millions of people unemployed right now, so they couldn't even afford the 2020 prices, let alone the current prices. And number three, the millions of people that are employed, they have not seen a 50% increase in their wages or income. So this is why the entire real estate market is so completely out of control, because it's completely unsustainable for people that are working and especially for those that are unemployed right now. Now, here in the Las Vegas real estate market, you can see right next to me that even though home prices are still near record highs, sales are finally starting to slow down. And you can see in the sub-headline right underneath that the average price point is about $475,000, but sales have dropped off by about 13%. And I'm starting to see this all over the Las Vegas real estate market where there's a lot of home price reductions. And I want to show you a few examples coming up. All right, so now drilling down into the Las Vegas real estate market, there are now a total of over 5,000 Las Vegas homes for sale. That's new Las Vegas homes and resale homes combined. What I want to do is I want to show you a few examples starting with new home construction from one of the largest national home builders called Lennar. Now this page right here is their web page for Las Vegas and the available homes they have right now with a lot of price reductions. So let's take a look at the top left. You can see right here where it says available homes, it says 112 in 47 communities. And when I scroll down here, you can see this home right here is an example. It used to be $625, it's now $565. This home is scratched out at $713. It's now $699. You can see right here in the big red area, big savings, limited time only, save now on select dream homes. So they're offering a lot of incentives, including price reductions. Now, if we just scroll down a little bit more, I want to show you a few more examples here. So if we take a look right here on the right side, this says 821 scratched out, now down to 762. This one over here on the left, 706, is now 643. Scroll down a little bit more, 723, 659. This one over here, 546, 489. So they have a lot of different price points and a lot of price reductions. Again, when we're in a strong market, you would never see this from new home builders, but we're starting to see that shift, and that's why we're seeing price reductions. And I think this is going to continue to happen, not just with this large home builder, but with a lot of home builders as well as a lot of sellers right now, because the market is shifting and prices are coming down. All right, so now I shifted over to the popular real estate platform Zillow. Now, if you guys follow my channel, you know that near the back half of each of my videos, I usually go to this real estate platform to show you guys some examples of homes that are either massively overpriced or they've been reduced in price. So this is going to be no different. I want to start here in the luxury category and then work down closer to the average price point. So let's start with this Las Vegas luxury home for sale. Now you can see on the left side of the screen, the current list price is $2 million, but just above it in that small red text, it says price cut $200,000 on September 16th. So this was a recent price cut, but it's not the full price cut as you're about to see. This is an 8-bedroom, 6-bath, 5,500 square foot home. But more importantly, I want to show you down below where this home price was originally listed for compared to this current list price. So take a look down at the bottom of the screen in the blue highlight. Down in the bottom left there, the date says 7/18/2024. This home was originally listed for sale just a couple of months ago for $2.8 million. If we look just above it, because they couldn't find a buyer, they quickly reduced it to $2.5 million. Then they dropped it to $2.2 and then $2 million. That's an $800,000 price reduction in just a couple of months, because again, there are so many sellers here in the Las Vegas real estate market that are massively overpricing their homes. And thankfully, there's not as many naive buyers just buying on the original list price. So again, if you have the time to be patient, we are going to see more price reductions, in my opinion, especially in the luxury category, because there are so many homes here in Las Vegas that are overpriced. All right, so now let's take a look at this second example of another Las Vegas home for sale that's been massively reduced in price. You can see on the left side of the screen, this home is currently listed at $990,000. It's a 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 4,600 square foot home. But again, more importantly, down below, I want to show you the original price point compared to this current list price right now. All right, so once again, focus your attention down at the bottom of the screen in the blue highlight. Down in the bottom left, the date there says 7/24/2024. So again, just a couple of months ago, this home was originally listed for sale for $1,250,000. And then you can see just above it, the current list price is $990,000. That's a $260,000 price reduction in a very short period of time. And if we go a little higher up here, we look at the estimated market value. Zillow has it estimated right there in the top left at $957,000. So this home is still overpriced in the opinion of a big real estate platform like Zillow. So once again, there's a tremendous amount of sellers with a lot of overpricing going on here. So again, if you're looking at buying a home, doesn't matter if it's a luxury home or an average price point home, I would never bid on the original list price, because so many of them are overpriced. And if you don't have to bid at all and you can be patient, that's the best option in my opinion. All right, so let's take a look at this third and final example of another Las Vegas home for sale that's also at a significant price reduction. You can see on the left side of the screen, this home is currently listed for $505,000. So we're getting close to the median home price here in Las Vegas, which currently stands at $475,000. you can see just above it in the small red text, there was a price reduction about 2 weeks ago of $20,000, but that's not the full price reduction as you're about to see. This is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,100 square foot home. But again, more importantly, I want to show you the original price point compared to this current list price to show you how significant the price reduction has been. All right, so one more time, focus your attention down at the bottom of the screen in the blue highlight. Down in the bottom left there, the date says 7/27/2024. So again, that's just a couple of months ago. This home you can see over on the right side was originally listed for sale for $600,000. If we look just above it, they reduced it to $575,000, then $545,000, then $540,000, then $525,000, and now the current price of $505,000. That is a $95,000 price reduction on a home that's really not even considered expensive here in the Las Vegas real estate market. 5 price reductions over a couple of months because, again, there are so many sellers at all different price points here in the Las Vegas real estate market that are massively overpricing their homes. And again, this is continuing. I'm seeing dozens and dozens of examples like this on popular real estate platforms like Zillow. So if you can be patient, especially as we go into the slower real estate season, I think these prices are going to continue to reduce all the way into 2025. So generally speaking, I'm not a big fan of making predictions regarding any kind of economic or housing downturns, but I want to show you in this next graphic something very interesting and why I am willing to go out on the line here and make a prediction ultimately as to what I think is going to happen. Let's take a look at that right now. Right, so this is a very interesting social media post that came out on Twitter just the other day, right after the Fed did that very aggressive interest rate cut. And on the left side of the screen here, you can see where it says right at the top, the last 2 times the Fed's first cut was 50 basis points. You can see right underneath it, January 3rd, 2001, the S&P 500 fell 39% in the next 448 days. Unemployment rose another 2.1%, and then there was a recession. Then the next time the Fed did the same kind of aggressive interest rate cut, you can see right underneath it, September 18th, 2007, S&P fell 54% over the next 372 days. Unemployment rose another whopping 5.3%, and a recession followed. Then at the very bottom, you can see September 18th, 2024. That was the most recent aggressive interest rate cut by the Fed, and then there's a question mark there. So very simply breaking down this social media post and making any kind of prediction on the economy and a housing correction, if we look at just the historical data, 23 years ago, when the Fed did this same aggressive interest rate cut, we fell into a recession about a year or so after this initial cut. Then in 2007, 17 years ago, when they did the same thing, it took again another year or so to fall into a recession and see unemployment spike and see the stock market drop. Now, they just did it right here in September 2024. So if we were going to make any kind of prediction on the housing market or anything regarding the economy falling into a recession about a year or so from now, it's likely that that potentially could happen based on the historical data. So going by that historical data, and again, nobody has a crystal ball as to whether or not it's all going to play out the same way it has in the past, anytime the Fed has done any kind of aggressive interest rate cut like they just did, there's usually a recession that follows about a year or so later. So right now, it's September 2024. If we do fall into a recession, and it's pretty fair to assume that that could happen just based on that historical data, it could take an entire year until next September, possibly even into early 2026 before that happens, but the likelihood of that happening is quite strong. So before we end today's video, I just want to give a shout out to my favorite comment from last week's video, and I actually have 2 of them this week. I'm going to put both of them up on full screen. I'm going to read them to you guys real quick and then come back on the other side and comment on it. So this first comment is from James. I lost my job where I earned $150,000 per year. I cannot find a job for even half of that. And this second comment from Night Move says, Denver is very bifurcated. I see a couple selling $1.3 million house with multiple offers. 5 miles away, $450,000 condos have little equity and no buyer offer. So I want to hear from you. I want you to drop me a comment down below. I read and respond to all of my comments. I want to know whether or not, are you having issues with your job? Do you know other people that have lost their job? And 2, what's going on in your local real estate market? Are you seeing price reductions? Let me know what's going on in my favorite comment from this week's video. I'm going to give a direct on-screen shout out to in next week's video. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I also hope you appreciate my transparency. You know that I'm always going to keep it 100% real on this channel regarding the economy and the real estate market. So here's how I think things are going to unfold over the next 12 months, guys. I think in the next few months after this big initial interest rate cut, I think we're going to start to see the markets rebound. I think we're going to see the stock market go higher. I think there's going to be more housing demand, but the unemployment levels based on historical data are going to go up. And that is the driver to the entire economy and the real estate market. So right now, I don't think anything but good things are going to ultimately happen because of that interest rate cut. But a year from now, I think that's when we can feel the full effects of a recession and a housing correction. Now, when it comes to buying a home, I know everybody's circumstances are different. Some people can wait things out and wait for that correction. Other people are looking to buy a home right now. If you are thinking about buying a home, the number one option, in my opinion right now, is to exercise patience, because I do think ultimately, even if it takes a year, I think home prices are going to go lower, not just here in Las Vegas, but throughout the country. If you are thinking about buying a home, especially right now, I would definitely try to put in a lowball offer, because there's a lot of homes, again, not just here in Las Vegas, but throughout the country, that are massively overpriced. And if you are thinking about buying a home, especially here in the Las Vegas real estate market, I've got your back. I'm a local real estate agent here. I've lived here for nearly 20 years. I know every inch of this city. When that time is right for you, definitely reach out to me. Just call, text, or email me anytime, and I'll help you find that perfect dream home. I'll see you in the next video.